What's up, guys? I'm super excited today because I get to check out this 2022 Ford F-150 Lightning Lariat edition. Big thanks to AutoNation Ford of Brooksville, Florida for allowing me some time with this vehicle. And guys, I'm going to take you on a complete tour of this vehicle. We're going to check it out from the exterior, interior, play with some cool and interesting features on the inside, check out the technology. At the end of this video, I'm going to take you for a spin in it. But before we do all that, if you can do me a huge favor and click that subscribe button at the bottom of this video before we get back to this beast. Check it out, guys. Ford's been teasing the F-150 Lightning for about a year now. It was supposed to go in production and on sale at the beginning of this year, but here we are. We are almost in August of 2022, and the first batches of F-150 Lightnings just started showing up at the dealerships. Now, those are either pre-ordered vehicles or, like this particular one, is a demonstrator. So each dealer is supposed to get one vehicle that they can't sell for a certain amount of time, but it is available for test drives and showings. So I found this at AutoNation Ford of Brooksville, Florida, and they were nice enough to actually let me film it, which is very nice of them. Guys, check it out. In the front, it looks just like the F-150, but there's some differences between this and the gasoline version of it. So if you check this out, first of all, what you can see on the Lightning is this huge LED daytime running lights bar, and that goes across the full grille and around the headlights. Now the headlights are also different than on the regular F-150. This particular one, it's got the fully LED headlights. They're also active headlights. They kind of move with the vehicle, so you know the drill. Now as far as the grille itself, or lack of one, it looks like it has one, but when you get closer, this is all closed up like on the electric vehicle. It has this blue Ford oval on its front view camera right underneath here. If you move in, this is the only open part. It actually has flaps that open and close, and that's because it has cooling for the batteries, and that helps with the cooling. That gets the air inside of it. Now, it also has the two recovery hooks at the bottom of it, and then you can see a bunch of parking sensors. But as far as the hood, it's just the same as a regular F-150. Now this whole thing opens up and it's got more room in there. Let's check it out. Hey guys, so there is this really cool light right here, and I'm gonna press the button to see what happens. There you go, we can have a party in here. Check this out. I got stuck in the trunk and I got unstuck by pressing this cool button on the inside. Well, this is a frunk. So you can see there's tons of room in here because there's no engine. It is actually powered by two electric motors, one in the front, one in the back, and it sources its power from a big battery pack. Now this one has the bigger one, it's more powerful, and it's got a bigger wrench. So let's check this out together. So as you can see, it does have this huge frunk, and I was able to actually fit myself in here, and I'm not the smallest person out here, but there's some cool features out there. Okay, first of all, this is what everybody's talking about, right? So this power panel right here, it says AC 120 volts, 20 amps, 2.4 kilowatt max, and here's what you got in here. So you do have 4 household outlets. You do have USB-C and a USB port. So even if you get stuck in here, you can still charge up your phone, of course, if you have a charging cable. Now, the way I was able to escape from the inside of this frunk is pressing this button right here, and it's nicely illuminated on the inside. But guess what? That's not the only thing that's pretty cool. Look at this light button over here. See these lights? up on top, there's two of them up on top of that front, and you can turn them off or on by pressing just this button. Now, what else is pretty neat? Underneath here, you have a little bit more storage, and that's actually where your charging cable is. I can plug it in to the regular stage 2 outlet. It takes about 10 hours to fully charge it. Now, it also says 400 pounds, so you can fit 400 pounds of stuff in this front. And then you have a roller. I don't know what it is about Ford and their rollers. It does have it everywhere. I guess just in case you are measuring stuff for the sake of measuring stuff. Now, so that's it. Now, behind here is where the auxiliary battery is. So you can open this up and you can see that you have this little battery that just in case you needed a jump start or something. Up in here, you can see that this front can actually fit 2 golf bags. Right? That's pretty cool. It does have Ford spelled out in here, and the way you close it is one of many ways. One of them is press this button right here, and then the front will close. The other way is off of your key. By the way, if you're talking about the key, this does have a standard Ford key. So you have a lock, unlock, twice to open up or close the front, twice to open up or close the gate, and the panic button. So let's check out the side profile of it. On the side, there's really hardly any difference between this and the regular gasoline-powered F-150. I gotta tell you, I still like the design. It's one of the coolest design of any pickups out there. I like that curve that's on the front door to give you the maximum outward visibility from the inside of the truck. The big mirrors, they're not the towing mirrors, but they're big enough, and it does have the blind spot assist. This one also have the turn signals. It does have cameras right at the bottom of here, and now you can see the different F-150s are gonna have like this little design trim on the side of here, but the F-150 Lightning are gonna have the charging box that is right here, and you open up simply by pushing it, and it's gonna let open. So this is for your fast charger. You can open it and close it. It has one on the other side, but that one is just a fake trim, just to make it look more symmetrical. Now, as far as the wheels, this is a design of the wheels that I've only seen on the Lightning. Maybe that's available for some other ones, but I haven't seen it on other F-150s, and I like it. These have been upgraded. Now, this one has the 20-inch wheels, and they're pretty big. As far as the size of the tire, you have 275, 60, and the 20-inch rim, of course. So pretty cool design. Fixed running boards, that's on this particular one. You do have this touchpad to lock and unlock this vehicle. You can also lock it and unlock it as long as you have the key on you by pressing this button over here. You can see the turn signals blinking, and you can unlock it as well. So this one does have the crew cab. It opens up, plenty of room on the inside, but we're gonna get to it. Now, Ford is saying that in order to minimize the cost for them to produce it and for you to buy it, they also use about 70% same components in this vehicle as the regular F-150. Now, that doesn't mean that everything is the same. Now, the one big difference on this is the suspension. It does have the fully independent suspension for a better ride. The chassis is also different than the regular F-150. That's just because they had to put the motors in, the different motors, and then they had to put the batteries and everything else like this. Now, as far as the bed, it does have the regular 5.5-foot bed, and on the bed itself, you can see the Lightning nicely displayed on here. Nice lettering on the sides of it. It's got the blue one, and then you can start seeing those LED lights in here. We've checked out the front of this vehicle, so let's check out the back of this pickup truck. It is just as cool as the front. I gotta tell you, I love those LED lights. They're specific to the Lightning, and they're very nice. They're very cool looking. They're very bright as well. As a matter of fact, let me push the lock button so you can see how bright these are. Now, there's also have this light strip that connects both of the taillights, go across the entire gate. It does have the reverse lights. Right in here, you have the backup camera. Over here is where the release for the tailgate is. They have a lock. You can lock up basically the spare tire that's actually underneath. You do have a full-size spare tire on this vehicle. You do have a 5-pin and 7-pin connector for towing, And as far as towing, Ford says that it is capable on the XLT and Lariat with the larger battery pack, which is what we have here. It's capable of towing up to 10,000 pounds. It's also capable of carrying a payload of up to 2,000 pounds. Now, as far as the gate, this is an automatic gate, and I gotta tell you, you can open it by pressing this button right here, and it will open, hopefully, eventually. If not, you press the button on the remote twice, and you can see the gate drops down nice and slowly. You don't have to worry about it squashing you. It also goes the other way. So if I want to close it, it goes up by itself as well. So pretty cool, right? But there's also a couple more cool features in the bed. So let's check it out. So at the first glance, it looks just like a regular bed. It is 5.5 foot bed. It does have a bed liner in here. It does have some tie downs over on top of here to organize and hold the cargo in place. It also has some illumination so you can see the lights in here. Now, pretty cool thing on here is this panel over here. Now, this is the power panel, right? So you have a bunch of buttons. You have the power button to turn this whole thing on, and then you have two regular household outlets, another two household outlets, and guess what? You have a 240 volt outlet, 30 amps. Wow, it's probably enough to power up maybe a range or something, a stove. Now check this out. Once I turn the lights on, which there's a button right here, you can turn these lights on or off, brighter or dim. See, they disappear right here. So that's the button for there. Now what's pretty cool about it is on this gate right here, okay, you have a bunch of measurements. So there's a ruler in inches and in centimeters in case you want to measure something and have some kind of a competition. You're going fishing, see who caught the biggest fish, etc. Which you also have, and we've seen this. This is like the to put your clam on, like in case you are working construction and you want to put something on it. That's what you put your clamp on. You also, if you want to get inside of this bed right there and you don't want to stretch your legs, there's a step right here. It pulls up, and then if you need a railing, here it is. So you can actually get inside of this bed nicely, relatively easy. Pretty cool setup if you ask me. Well, normally I talk about the specs of the engine or of the vehicle while looking at the engine. Now, since we don't have the engine but two electric motors, which I can't see from here, we're going to talk about it right now. So there's a standard battery pack that the vehicle is going to produce 426 horsepower, or with the extended battery pack, which we have here, 563 horsepower, but what's more important, 775 pound-feet of torque. What does that mean? That means that this vehicle is quick and powerful. How quick, you think? 4.5 seconds, 0 to 60. Just a little bit faster than the Raptor, making it the fastest F-150. It's very comfortable on the inside. I have plenty of room sitting in here. There's plenty of room for 3 people, which is more than you can say for a lot of the mid-size SUVs. And Ford did it because they knew they're going to attract some other clientele. Now, a lot of people that placed an order for the F-150 are new to the brand, but not only that, they're new to the pickup truck. So they're going for something new, something more utilitarian, but they still want to have the same room as they had on their SUVs. Now, the interior on this Lariat is premium. Can't wait to show it to you. Start with the door panel and the back door right here. And I gotta tell you, this is pretty cool. This almost looks like this denim material, but it also feels like nylon or this waterproof, tough and durable material. Not even sure what this is. It does have a little bit of this fake wood trim over here. Plastic, hard plastic over here. You do have a cup holder. This is nicely padded, wrapped with leather. You do have a little bit of this brown contrast stitching. More storage underneath the door handle. Then you can see the B&O, Bang & Olufsen stereo right there at the bottom. More storage in the door. Now, if you look inside of this truck right here, this is what I was talking about. It does have plenty of room for 3 adults in the back. You can easily fit 3 full-size human beings in the back. If you want to have 2, you have a nice cup holder / armrest in the middle over here. So let's check it out. What do we have over here? Now we have a pretty flat floor right here, right? Because we don't have to have all that underneath it for the four-wheel drive system or exhaust, and that's what usually takes up the most room in there. Now, in the back here, you have the heated seats on this Lariat version. You have a regular power outlet, you have your own vents. Over here, you have a USB and a USB-C port, and then you have a regular 120 volt, 20 amp outlet, and that's what you get. You have some seat back pockets in the back, but if that wasn't enough cargo room for you, now you have the bed, you have the front, but if you want to put more stuff in here, you can lift up this seat and make it look like this. And then underneath here, if you wanted to, let's lift up the other seat as well. That'd be a good test. Now I'm holding the camera in one hand. If I want to put something in here, I just unlock this, and you have a little cargo box right in here, so you can put more stuff in here. Other than that, you can put something bigger inside behind the driver and passenger. Now, since this is probably going to be a better view of it, you do have this huge panoramic sunroof. All right, let's check out the quality of this vehicle. By closing its door, boom, nice, pretty solid. Now, somebody just commented in one of my videos, they make the doors especially to sound good on crappy vehicles, and I disagree with that. I think once a crappy door, it's going to sound crappy. Now, anyway, so let's take a look at this front door panel. Now, I look at this, I love this curve. Look how much more light it gets in, how much more visibility you have from the inside. Now, as far as the door panel, same thing as on the back, but look at this premium features. Now, you do have 3 memory seat settings, lock unlock window mirror and door controls. You do have Bang & Olufsen stereo right there, a little bit of storage under the door handle, and then you have more storage at the bottom of the door. Now, both seats on this Lariat package are power adjusted, so you have the power adjustments on the driver and the passenger seats. And let's check out the seats. Now, this is leather interior. On the base Pro version, you get the vinyl. Now you get upgraded to a leather interior on the Lariat version. Now, what you can see here, a bunch of buttons, okay? So one of them is to open the front over here. This one is to open the rear gate. Now, this is for mirror lights, and then you have your light controls, dimmer switches, the light in the back. Then you can adjust your pedals front and back if you wanted to adjust to the best driving position, pull on for parking brake. And now what do you have here? Now, since the front opens up over there, this is just a dummy, but in reality this is like an emergency pull to open up the front, just in case the battery goes dead and you can't use the electronic opener. Now, what else do we have right over here underneath this console? You have storage, and you have it on both sides. And the steering wheel, tilt and telescoping, power tilt and telescoping, pretty cool. Now, here's a close-up of this trim around here. Look at this, like a bronze trim, bronze thread over here, and this denim material. It looks awesome. I'm gonna show you something. When you open the door, boom, look at all this animation that's going on inside. Is that crazy or what? Now, you have 2 big screens over here. There's no hiding it. You have your fully digital instrument cluster, and then you have this huge screen. I've seen that screen before. I've seen it on Mach-E, and I know they started putting those on the new Expeditions. Now, the one that I've done had the regular 12-inch screen. Now, this, I believe, is a 15-inch screen, and it looks awesome. Well, I gotta tell you, let's turn this vehicle on so we can get this air conditioning going. And here's what's happening. Built tough Ford, okay, fully digital instrument cluster. You have this familiar chime that you can see. We're going to start this with the overview of this cabin. Well, you can't miss the screens, that's for sure, right? But look at the layout of this cabin. I love the trim around it. I actually like the color scheme even. This bronze color scheme over here right around this infotainment system. Now, what you also have is this vinyl or denim, or however you want to call it. Not even sure what this material is, but pretty cool. They have 2 glove boxes, one on top over here and then one at the bottom. Then you also have a bunch of charging points. You have the regular charger, you have the regular household outlet over here, and up on top you have a little bit more storage behind this screen. Speaker, you can see the B&O right there, you have the twitters on the side, on the A column. You have the grab handles, nice and solid. I gotta tell you, the AC blows nice and cold. Let's close that, and let's move on to the steering wheel. Now the steering wheel is probably very similar. It is the same actually on the regular F-150. It is a multifunctional steering wheel. You have a bunch of buttons on the left-hand side, so you can see your cruise control, your lane, your distance between you and the car in front of you, lane keep assist, volume. Now you have controllers to what's going on in the instrument cluster. We're going to take a look at that in a second. Then you have the phone hang-up pickup button and the tracks that you can choose. Now as far as the instrument cluster, this is the first time I'm playing with it, so let's check it out together. Frunk emergency release activated. Check frunk contents. We're going to click OK, and this is your main screen over here. So on the left-hand side, you see the range. Now, this is something we haven't talked about. Now, with the extended battery, Ford says that you have up to 320 miles range. On the standard battery, 220. 266 mile range, that's left. Now, the vehicle is ready. We're in park, 91 degrees outside. That's why I'm sweating. Trip 1, and on the right-hand side, you have the speedometer. Now, what else do we have? Let's go to the menu. My View, Trip, Truck Info. Let's see what we have. Tire pressure, pitch and roll. So you have this off-road kind of pages. Power distribution. You can see whether the front and see there's two motors, one in the front, one in the back, and tells you whether it's using power or it's charging. Seat belts, driver's assistance. This is pretty much it. So not a lot of customization in here. Kind of thought it was going to be a little bit more than that. Back to the main screen, you have towing, trailer information. Okay, so you can see trailer information, distance, trailer gain, range and fuel full charge. So if you put the specifics of the trailer in there, it's going to adjust the range accordingly. So it's going to calculate it based on what you're going to be towing. Towing status, okay. So you can see that the vehicle is pretty much straight up. There's no gain. And back to the driver assistance. What's my view? That's the favorite view basically. Hold OK to reset. Boom, goes back to 0, 0. So this is your instrument cluster. You can have a Pro trailer here. This is where you turn the vehicle on or off. That's where you control your gain, I believe. Yep. Trailer disconnected, so that's going to give me the message like this. This screen is absolutely amazing. I gotta tell you, it's huge, but it's very crisp. It does have all the information that you might want on the vehicle. So first of all, let's go to the vehicle info. You have drive modes. You have normal, sport, off-road, tow, haul. This is your driving modes. Change it to sport, changes it a little bit. You look at the camera. Check out the camera over here. So you do have the 360 camera, and then you have the top-down view of this pickup truck. And look at this. No camera basically. Front view camera, rear view camera, front wide angle, tow camera, bed camera. So you have all cameras that you can see. Now the quality of it, it's decent. It's not, you know, the best. It's not the worst. It's right in range with everything else. Access, towing, okay, settings, smart hitch. Now what I like about this too, here, check this out, onboard scales. Okay, so you know this vehicle is capable of the payload of up to 2,000 pounds. Now when you start loading it, it says 1675, that's where your red line is. It's gonna show you of how much stuff you have in there, and it's gonna adjust accordingly. Onboard power, it does have so many different chargers. Look at this, the charger in the front, in the back console, in the front. It does have a chargers in the front. The vehicle power down timer is off. The vehicle will run to supply power to the outlets until the Pro Power Reserve setting is reached. We don't want to do that. I can turn that on for the front and back. And here you go, navigate to parking. So it does have the parking assistance, intelligent backup power. to use this feature, you must pair your vehicle with at least one Ford Charge Station Pro. So you have to add station, and then you can do the intelligent power backup. Now this vehicle is capable of powering your entire house for 3 days. That's what Ford says. Or if you're really going to reserve power, for up to 10 days. Now the trick to it, you can't just plug it into the regular outlet, or you plug it in like your regular generator. You do have this set up professionally. I believe it's about $4,000 in order to get this going. Valet mode, so you put the pin in it. All right, so this controls, and then we have settings. Charge setting, we're at 91%, 266 miles of range, one-time max charge limit, EV driving history, departure and comfort charging locations. Wonder if that's going to show me the different charging station. Personal profile, driver's assistance, vehicle general display, clock, connectivity. Does have the wireless app projection. Okay, it does have the wireless app, Apple CarPlay, and wireless Android Auto, system updates, mobile apps. Okay, so this is your all settings right there. Pretty cool, right? Intelligent power backup. Let's go back to the main menu. Radio profile, navigation, Android Auto. It is wireless. Okay, I don't have my phone connected, but you can connect it. Select connect Android Auto or connect the phone using USB cable. You can minimize it. We're in Brooksville, Florida. If you want to see the navigation, okay, let's make it bigger. Huge navigation screen. All right, that's where we're at. A Ford dealer right there. Pretty cool. Now you have audio. Turn that off. Pretty cool, right? Press this button over here. The audio sounds really good. I just can't play it too long because of the copyright issues. This trip, 0 miles kilowatt hour. We just reset it. Over here, you have your climate control. So you have your temperature right there. You can set it up. Pretty cool, right? 66. Let's say that's fine. You have your heated steering wheel, cooled seats, different fan settings right there. Okay, then you have your dual zone right here. So that's for your passenger, that's for your driver. Right there at the bottom of here, you have your max auto defogger. You have your parking assist, traction control. You can turn that on and off. And then you also have your hazard lights. Turn that down a little bit, let it cool off a little bit more. So very nice, very cool setup over here. You can see 91 degrees. It's 5 p.m. over here. Let's go back. Let's show audio screen. Let's see your radio stations. Pretty cool, right? You have games. Pretty cool, right? You know the jigsaw puzzle? While you're waiting for somebody, you can kill some time. Okay? Start the jigsaw puzzle. I just need to move this around, you know, to make sure that this vehicle is, or we're playing some jigsaw puzzle over here. Anyways, you know the drift, right? So different games that are available. Okay, a new game about how to play. Close it. We're gonna close it. And then what else do we have here? Lane change game. This is to practice your driving ability. So you know, hey, we're gonna charge it. There you go. And make sure you pick up points and don't run into anybody, and it gets faster and faster. So I hope you can't do it while driving, because that would be dangerous. Go back out of the games, owner's manual, navigation, media. So that's pretty standard setup. Okay, well, let's move on down here. This is a pretty cool setup over here. Okay, you can open this up and you can have the wireless charging, USB-C, and the USB port. And then the shifter is just like the regular shifter, right? Put it in gear. Okay, drive, neutral, reverse, parking. Also, what's pretty cool about this button right here, that you have the ability to fold it down. And when you fold it down, you have the ability to actually open this up to either put your laptop in or use it as a desk. So it's a pretty cool feature. So this creates this flat surface. All you have to do is press it to get it back up, and now we're back in business. And the last thing to do is to take it on top right here in this console. So you have your sunglasses holder, you have your sunroof controls, and this is pretty cool. This is actually this is not a sunroof control, this is your back window control. So you can see this opens and closes right there. It's a pretty cool feature. And then you have LED lights, you can turn on and off. And then you have a sunroof control over here. You can open up this massive panoramic sunroof, and it does have a large opening. It lets in tons of air, tons of light, and if you didn't want all that light, you have a cover to put over it. Pretty cool. The last thing left is to take it for a spin. Alright guys, my favorite portion of this video is to take this vehicle for a spin, see how it drives. So we're going to check it out. First of all, the turning radius, and see how tight it is. And then we're going to take it on the road. So first thing, just like with any electric vehicle, it is super quiet. You can't hear the engine just because there is none. But you can't hear any of the electric motor hum or anything like this. I believe there might be some settings that you can set up as far as the propulsion sound or anything like this. I've seen that. I'm not sure where to set it up. But other than that, it's pretty quiet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a full 360 right here, turn the wheel all the way to my left, and hopefully I'll be able to fit it in this parking lot. Surprisingly tight. It is nice and tight, just like the truck should be. Very nice, comfortable ride. Gotta tell you, the center of gravity is low. The vehicle drives super nice. The seats are nice, comfortable, soft. I like it. It's quiet. The air conditioning, I don't know, you can probably cool down your house with the power of this AC. It feels really, really nice, especially while being outside with this 90-degree plus weather. I hope we're going to have the opportunity to check out a little bit of this acceleration, although it should come as no surprise. These vehicles are very fast. This one's about 4.5 seconds, 0 to 60, making it the fastest F-150, even ahead of the Raptor. So it obviously feels a little bit different, and to each its own. Like some of the gasoline power engines, some people like the electric one. I'm still kind of deciding, haven't made up my mind yet, but I kind of like them both. Well, it looks like an open stretch of road, and what I can do is I can stop and see how the acceleration goes for this F-150 Lightning. Nobody behind me, and I got it to a complete stop. And let's go. $60. This is incredibly fast, but also scary because you don't hear that power coming in. That engine is like non-existent. You get up to 60 miles an hour and you don't even hear the wind outside of this vehicle. So there's no surprise, it is fast, but it also feels very good. It doesn't feel any different than driving a regular pickup truck as far as the regular driving. It does have kind of the same dynamics. I would probably say maybe a little bit better because, like I said, the center of gravity is low and that holds that truck more on the ground. Now, still, I wouldn't do anything stupid. I mean, you do have this nicer suspension with this one. You do have the fully independent suspension with the Lightning package. You don't have it with the regular F-150, so that, I'm sure that helps out a lot too. Now we're gonna hit the brakes a little bit harder. I want to see if it dives or if it does anything weird or unusual. So if you're ready, let's go. You know what? I can't resist. I have to do it again. Tires are not chirping, but we're going. Get almost up to 60 miles an hour again. Okay, it's not my car, it's a dealership car. I respect it. I want to put it back in one piece. So we're not going to do anything stupid. I love this vehicle. I think I'm going to place an order. Can I place an order on one?
Yeah.
How much is it?
It depends on what you want.
This one right here, it's $80,000.
So you can actually have this one come December.
This one?
This one.
This particular one.
Yep.
Guys, you hear that one? If you're anywhere near Brooksville, Florida, or you know what, there's planes. They fly here to Florida too. If you're anywhere in the world and you want this particular truck, you can have it come December. They can't sell it until then, but you can put a reservation in, put a deposit on it, and have it. How about that? I like it. Well, I can't tell you that I'm pleasantly surprised with this vehicle because I kind of knew what I was getting into before I started driving it, but it definitely lived up to my expectation. It's a really nice truck. I hope you guys liked it. I did, for sure. I hope you guys like watching videos like this. If you do me a huge favor, consider subscribing, check out the rest of my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.